Hey everybody, it's Ed Conarchy. Welcome back to this week's Conarchys Corner with education that you can use. This week's topic is income tax returns. Federal income tax returns is that time of the year. Everybody loves this time of the year. This Sunday, January 31st, all of the banks and lending institutions, mortgage mutual fund companies, investment companies, all that tax data has to be out to you. Your W-2s, your 1099s, your 1098s. Everything needs to be sent to you by this point in time, this weekend. So with that coming out, I want to make sure that I cover the most important things that are there, and one of them is the mortgage side of this, right? You're going to get from your mortgage company your mortgage interest statement. I'll give you a visual here of what one looks like. Try to make sure you can read that. That's your mortgage interest statement. It's also known as a 1098 form. This is going to tell the IRS and you and your accountant what you paid in mortgage interest. Remember, mortgage interest is tax deductible. Very good thing for you to be able to reduce your taxable income. So you should see that. Now, you may have multiple of these coming. If you refinance this year, you may see 2 or 3 of these depending on how many times that you refinance this year. So every different loan will require a different mortgage interest statement to be sent to you. So make sure that you're looking out from all those, from all the different mortgages that were held this year. Any trouble on this, let us know. You also should have with you, when you bring to your account, you should also have with you what we call the HUD-1 settlement statement. Another visual for you. Give you an idea what that looks like. It's known as the HUD-1 or the settlement statement. That is also important for you to pull out of your closing package and have with you at the time that you do your taxes with your accountant. And the reason is because there will always be mortgage interest that's paid on your closing at closing. Now remember, why you need to have this statement is that the rule of the IRS says that if it's less than $600 in mortgage interest, a 1098 does not have to be generated by the mortgage lender. So if you're just paying a couple of days of interest at closing, that would normally be sent. A 1098 wouldn't normally be sent. So make sure you have this statement with you at tax time as well. And then finally, we're in Lake County, Illinois. Did you see Lake County, Illinois was just written up in Forbes as the #1 highest percentage of real estate taxes in America? Is that amazing? In all of America, we unfortunately have the title of being the highest percentage of real estate taxes. Well, here's a Lake County tax bill. Give you a visual of that. Have your county's tax bill with you too. So your property taxes are also tax deductible. So all 3 of these are vital information that you need to get the greatest tax write-off to pay the least amount of taxes to the IRS. So remember that. 1098s from all the different mortgages that were held this year, your closing statements from any refinance or purchase that you did this year from that closing, as well as your property tax bills. Have all those with you. Your accountant's going to love you. You're going to love yourself because you're going to be able to reduce that taxable income and pay the least amount to the IRS for taxes. Also, I want to point out the tax code. I was reading an article the other day that was pretty amazing, that the IRS tax code, gang, has 67,000 pages to it. 67,000. So it's a tough thing to understand, and you should not go at this alone. That's why we recommend that you choose a preparer, that you choose a CPA, a tax attorney, or what we call an enrolled agent. An enrolled agent is someone who has taken courses and passed tests to be able to prepare taxes. So one of those 3 things, a CPA, tax attorney, or an enrolled agent. Make sure you choose a preparer. And I'm going to illustrate why this is so important and why you should choose a preparer. That I was listening to an interview on C-SPAN the other day with the commissioner of the IRS. His name is Douglas Shulman. Got a picture of Douglas. I'm into visuals today. There's your IRS commissioner right there, Douglas Shulman. And he was asked the question, do you file your taxes or do you use a preparer? And here's Douglas Shulman's answer. I use a preparer. And the interviewee asked, why? And he says, because I've done it for years. It's convenient. And check this out, gang. This is amazing. He finds the IRS tax code complex. This is the IRS commissioner saying that he finds the IRS tax code complex. You betcha, with 67,000 pages. So we need to understand that if the commissioner of the IRS himself finds the IRS tax code confusing and complex, and he won't do his own personal tax return, nor should you. Make sure you choose a preparer. Don't have someone do this part-time. Find someone that does this year-round. Make sure they're a professional. It's just not your neighbor or your friend or a relative doing this for you. We find a lot of times the statistics show us that they don't do it well and you leave money on the table. Think of the money that you pay a preparer, that you'll make it back at least that amount or more, I personally believe, when they do the taxes the right way and they get to keep more of your money. So make sure you find that CPA, that tax attorney, or that enrolled agent. If you don't have someone and you need someone, feel free to contact us. We've vetted a lot of different agents out there so that we can get them to you. So call us or contact us. As you always know, you can reach us on email, econarchy@ccmclending.com. Phone us, 847-970-4239. We'd be happy to give you a referral in your area. That's someone that we vetted and know that will take care of you from the tax side. And finally, when choosing a preparer, it's important to understand these bullet points. When you choose a preparer and hire one, make sure that you avoid preparers that are going to claim they're going to get a larger refund than other preparers. That's somebody that's not looking out for your best interest and could put you in jeopardy. 2, make sure that they don't charge a fee on the size of your return. Another hot button. Make sure that they're a full-time, year-round preparer, that they're not someone that's just doing this part-time trying to make a couple extra bucks in March. So find a professional, year-round professional. Make sure you don't use a preparer that pressurizes you to take out a refund anticipation loan. These are people that are just trying to make a lot of money off you. Those are very expensive, high interest and cost loans. You don't want to have a preparer pressurizing you to do that. If they are, leave immediately. That's the wrong person you're looking for. That's a salesperson, not someone trying to help you as a professional for your taxes. And finally, to make sure that you don't use preparers that refuse to sign the return with you. That is something that's very important, that they should sign the return with you. Therefore, they're legally committed just like you are on that return. If something goes wrong, typically the accountant will then pay the interest on that if you're audited and there's a mistake. So make sure you're finding a preparer that's signing it with you, that's doing the return together with you as you submit that to the IRS. So that's our tip for this week. It's tax time. Unfortunately, April 15th will be here before you know it. All the documents should be in the mail to you by January 31st. Remember one other thing too, in the last 3 years, if you've owned mutual funds, we've seen that the last 3 years, the 1098s and 1099s have been sent out. There have been errors on them, and we have found that they've had to redisclose and have them to you by the beginning of March. There's been some tax rule changes as well as errors. So you may want to, if you can, wait till March to make sure that everything is corrected and sent to you so that you don't file and have to worry about doing an amended return. So just one final tip there. Hope this has been helpful. Hope each week's Conarchys Corner is educational. Hope you take this tax information to heart and use it to your advantage, and make sure you're doing the right things when it comes to tax time. And again, any questions on any of this, any ways that we can help you with finding closing statements, 1098s, even finding a preparer to help you, just let us know. Contact us again at econarchy@ccmclending.com or our direct line, which is 847-970-4239. Have fun doing your taxes.